Alright, so we're going to talk a little bit about wire. This is craft wire, probably about 26 gauge. The gauge is the thickness. The higher the number, the thinner the wire. 18 gauge looks like this. Actually, I'm sorry, this is 20 gauge and this is copper wire, real copper. You can buy this at the hardware store, and you can get this at any craft store or any major store like Mega Mart. Alright, now this wire is very good because when you bend it, it stays bent. This wire also, you bend it, it stays bent. The wire that I'm going to be using to explain how to do certain things doesn't stay as well as the other ones. This is really, I got this at the hardware store. I like it because it has a dark color and we can see it, but it doesn't stay as well as the other wires. It appears to, but it actually has a lot more flexibility, and as you're moving around, it becomes more difficult to manage. For starting purposes, I would really recommend that you just go down to Mega Mart or to any craft store, bead store, and purchase this 26 gauge or 24 gauge silver wire. It's not real silver, but it'll say silver on it. Alright. The first thing we're going to learn to do is a dog. And this is a dog that's facing forward, looking at you. Here's an example of what we'll be learning today. Oops. Stand up, Fido. Okay. As you can see, he has long ears, snout, triangular head, and then he has a neck, comes down and leads into legs, and then a spiraling body that comes back into back legs, and the back legs come up into a little tiny tail. You can make him with a longer tail if you like his son or daughter or whatever you want to call her. Maybe it's his wife. But anyway, you can do a longer tail if you want to. To make this, I would say you need about 1 yard or even up to 1.5 yards of wire. And sometimes more, sometimes less, just depending on how big you do things. We are going to create a circle. We're going to work on the head first, and then we'll divide this video. And we'll have a second section, but we're going to work first on the head. I'm going to put the wire between these clippers that we already talked about in an earlier video, between these pliers at about halfway, and I'm just going to bend to create the nose. Once again, you can see the nose that I just created, and the next step, of course, is going to be to create the head by going in a triangular motion and coming back down. I'm going to use the wire not so much to bend at this point, but to guide, to hold the wire still so I can work with it. So I'm holding the wire still so my hand can bend it downward, and then I can shape it. And all I'm going to do now is straighten that out a little bit. I'm going to put the pliers between or in the nose and subjecting the other wire also that I'm working with. I'm going to come back up around, and from there I'm going to come back around again. Now I'm coming behind the original wire or underneath it, however way you see it. I come back, and sometimes I won't even need the pliers just to do what I need to do. I'm going to create an ear that I think should be about this long. This wire is really easy to bend, so you don't really need the pliers all the time, especially if you want to create kind of a thicker look. You can just let the wire bend upon itself. I'm going to come back again behind it. So I've come back for a third time, and on this side I'm going to create the other ear. Try to keep it at the same length as the previous one, and just come back up. And there you have it. We have created the semblance or the appearance appearance of a dog. Wire is fun, but it can be hard to work with. Bear with me as I straighten it out. Alright, so we have the semblance or the appearance of a dog. This wire that's left over is going to become the body. Right now, we just have the head. Okay.